Mike Moore Media, the first place to hear Rockingham County news and information.
Rockingham County Today is sponsored by Rockingham Community College. Fall classes start August 15th. Start local, go far at RCC. Rockingham County Emergency Services Director Rodney Cates, in his monthly podcast Wednesday on Mike Moore Media, announced plans for an EMT Academy at Rockingham Community College, allowing individuals to continue to work at their current job in a paid training position and obtain an EMT certification. It will be 6 weeks long, about 500 hours. The new program will begin in late October. Additional details will be released next week. The 15-minute podcast is on a dozen social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube. A wanted bulletin for Dequarian Deshaun Hairston has been issued in connection with a shooting into an occupied dwelling in Eden. He's black, 18, approximately 5'7" in height, and may be in the Greensboro area, but has ties to Eden, Mayodan, and Stoneville. Anyone with information on Dequarian Deshaun Hairston is asked to call the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers. The full story and his photo are posted on our Facebook page. Reidsville Police Department's K-9 ELO is getting a bullet and stab protective vest thanks to a charitable donation from nonprofit organization Vested Interest in Canines. It will be embroidered with "Born to Love, Trained to Serve, Loyal Always." Vested Interest in Canines, established in 2009, is a 501c3 charity whose mission is to provide vests and other assistance to dogs of law enforcement and related agencies throughout the United States. It's provided over 4,700 vests to canines in all 50 states at a value of almost $7 million. Made possible by both private and corporate donations. There are an estimated 30,000 law enforcement canines throughout the United States. Now, Rockingham County weather from Shiloh Airport. Today, mostly sunny, high 92, low 70. Tomorrow, a 50% chance of scattered showers, high 87. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, mostly sunny, high 89, low 69. Triad record highs and lows on this day: 98, 1987, 54, 1985. Get current weather information anytime at mikemore.media, along with Rockingham, our live-streamed 24-hour weather camera, powered by heat and air controllers. You can depend on them for year-round comfort, whatever the weather. Well, the king of customer service, Keith Lane, has done it again. We had a problem with an expired insurance card. Kevin Lane started the process late Tuesday. Keith finished it Wednesday. Problem solved. This happens all the time. I've heard the stories, how the Lane brothers go the extra mile for their customers. We appreciate that. Lane's Family Pharmacy, NC 14 Eden, countywide prescription delivery.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on Mike Moore Media.
Baseball Wednesday, the Phillies beat the Braves 3-1. Nick Castellanos hit a tie-breaking 2-run homer in the 8th. Orlando Arcia homered for Atlanta, which had won 4 straight. The Mets beat the Nationals 9-5. Daniel Vogelbach hit a grand slam for New York. Pete Alonso went deep for his 28th homer. Chris Bassett pitched 7 shutout innings for New York, who opened up a 3.5-game lead over second-place Atlanta in the NL East.
Vavra swings, lines it left side, and a base hit for Vavra. Skipping in between Smith and Taveras. Mateo will score as Smith cuts it off. Vavra's in the second. He is in there safely standing.
Orioles radio with the call. 6-3 the win over the Rangers in Arlington. Robinson Chirinos and Ryan McKenna homered for Baltimore, who swept all 3 games in Texas.
For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. That's the Sports Flash. Chuck Sanders, Mike Moore Media.
podcast preview, Lee Mitchell, Director of the Madison Mid-End Recreation Department. That's available this morning around 9:30. Now the community calendar, sponsored by Night Owl National Stoneworks in Eden, in the former Kmart location. Granite, quartz, and marble for commercial and residential. The Farmers Market at Market Square in downtown Reidsville is open today and Saturday, 7 to 1, with fruit, vegetables, baked goods, and local artisans. Yard and bake sale for the Draper Christmas Parade, Friday and Saturday, 8 to 4, at 108 North Fillcrest Road. Madison Mid-End Recreation Department Wrestling Camp with Jackson Bowles, Saturday at Western Rockingham Middle School. 2 sessions, 9 to 12 and 2 to 5. $30 includes lunch. Bands on the Dan at Grogan's Riverfront, NC 704 Madison. Gates open at 6, food on site, BYOB. Coming up August 13th, dueling pianos. And September 10th, Brendan Davis will be back. Never Too Late at the Sandy Ridge Community Center, NC 704, Saturday, August 13th, 6 till 8:30. Draper Area Public Meeting, Thursday, August 18th at 5:30 at Draper Christian Church on Fillcrest Road. Touch a Truck on Henry Street in the parking lot, Uptown Eden, Saturday, August 20th, 10 to 1, admission, a school supply donation. Climb, explore, and discover your favorite things on wheels. Announcements are made free on the community calendar. Elect Abner Bullins, Clerk of Superior Court, Rockingham County native, 30-year veteran of the Sheriff's Office, including Chief Deputy, experienced in supervision, leadership, management, problem-solving, decision-making, a family man of integrity who understands our county, knows its communities and citizens, and believes all elected officials and candidates should be held accountable. Elect Abner Bullins, Clerk of Superior Court. Paid for by Abner Bullins. Next up, today's Consumer Report.
Walmart has launched Walmart Restored, a section of Walmart.com that only sells used and refurbished products. In addition to computers, Walmart Restored offers TVs, smartphones, cameras, audio gear, large and small appliances, and video games. With the cost of living rising rapidly, the number of Americans who live paycheck to paycheck appears to be rising just as fast. Lending Club Corporation has released its periodic study of consumer spending patterns and found 61% of consumers spend all of their money between pay periods. Hyundai is recalling more than 72,000 2020 to 2022 venues. It's another issue with passenger restraints. The front driver's side and/or passenger side seatbelt pretensioners may explode upon deployment in a crash that would cause injuries to occupants of the vehicle. I'm Mark Huffman. Learn more at consumeraffairs.com.
Today in history, 1790, the Revenue Cutter Service was formed. That was the beginning of the U.S. Coast Guard. 1821, the Saturday Evening Post was published for the first time as a weekly. 1944, Nazi police raided a house in Amsterdam, arresting 8 people, including Anne Frank. Her diary was published posthumously 3 years later. August 4th, 1844, the first service was held at the Church of the Epiphany in Leakesville. A large number of slaves were baptized. Next up, the Birthday Club. Here we go for August 4th. Happy birthday to Bonnie Durham, who's 71, our friend Dave Wall in Danville, our friend Joy Webb in Mayodan, our old neighbor, Megan Pillar, Alex Shelton, 27, and Bryce Church in Eden, all for Thursday, August 4th, and our best wishes to all of you. Have a name for the birthday club? You can text it to me anytime at 336-932-1881. I need those August birthdays now. We call out all the birthdays Monday through Friday on this program, starting out with Sunday and Monday, ending with Friday and Saturday. And then on Friday, we have all of the names, all 7 days of birthdays in a drawing, and we have a nice prize package valued at over $100 from these Eden businesses: Divine Nutrition, Domino's Pizza, That Little Pork Chop, Ingrid's Cupcakes and Confections, Biscuitville, Wendy's, Carolina Fuels, and Vernon Family Dairy. So get those birthdays in. Now, big name birthdays for today: Barack Obama, 61, Billy Bob Thornton, 67, Jeff Gordon, 51, Roger Clements, 60.
Here's author Philip Gulley with an excerpt from his book, For Everything a Season.
There are certain things every town has at least one of, no matter the town size. There's always a sneaky politician who makes sure the road in front of his house gets paved first. There's always a water tower, and there's always a family who owned the grain mill years ago and lives in the nicest house in town, generally on a hill. Since this is a small town and I have to live here, I'll be the first to declare that all the politicians in our town are true statesmen, free of corruption and wise beyond their years. We have 2 water towers. The nicest house in town is owned by the Blantons, who ran the grain mill. Their home crowns a hill north of town. Though I've lived here a good many years, I never tire of walking past the Blanton house and admiring it as it nestles amongst the trees. The original Blanton estate is just shy of 80 acres, most of it rolling woods and meadows. The woods are a place of firsts for me. I smoked my first and only cigar in those woods. Kissed my first girl alongside its creek on a Saturday afternoon in autumn. And 6 months later, when the girl no longer welcomed my kisses, was healed of heartbreak while hiking its trails. I learned to shoot a .22 rifle there, and in those woods I discovered the quiet peace of a campfire on a snapping autumn evening. I'm now walking those same trails with my 2 little boys, Spencer on my right, Sam on my left. They hold my pants legs with one hand and grasp their toy rifles with the other, cocked and ready for grizzly bears. I've not been the only one attracted to Mrs. Blanton's woods. Developers have been after her to sell it. They want to knock down the trees, scrape the earth raw, pipe up the creeks, pack the land with houses, and name it Wooded Glen or some other hint of what it was before the carnage. They spoke to her of big money, which wasn't her language. Then, to their eternal dismay, she donated the land to the town for a nature preserve, with the understanding that it remained forever off limits to real estate predators. Little boys toting toy rifles are quite welcome.
For Everything a Season, the latest collection of stories by author Philip Gulley, is available from Multnomah Publishers.
Personally speaking, from me and Annette, I want to take a moment to say thanks to the more than 500 people who acknowledged our wedding anniversary yesterday and commented on that photo from August 3rd, 1974. We certainly appreciate all of your happy anniversary wishes. Thank you for that. And thank you for listening to our program. Let's finish with our motivational moment. Walk gently in the lives of others. Not all wounds are visible. Have a wonderful Thursday, friends, and remember to count your blessings.